Okay, this was a bit of a nightmare to repair. When I took this one, the current limiting resistor was completely destroyed. Somebody even attempted to fix it somehow. Yeah, that's very stupid. So I replaced it, but the machine was still completely dead. So I started going around checking stuff, and I noticed that the line that connects this ribbon cable that takes 15 plus and minus 15 volts and feeds it to this connecting board. They were broken, so I fixed them, and still nothing. But after a little while that machine was on, I had a short and it tripped the circuit breaker, and this part basically burned up. So what happened? Under that side, there's a little hole inside there. There is a transformer. Yeah, it's not pretty. This transformer takes 400 volts and puts out the 15 volts needed for the power supply, and 220 for the fan. The fan is stuck and shorted out. This one probably overheated the transformer shorted, and the 380s went straight through the 15 volts and burned up everything else. I replaced the transformer with one we wound up just for test. It doesn't have the 220 volts, but we're gonna install a 24 volts fan with another transformer. Quite a lot of them. And I completely bypassed those lines. They were burned. I didn't want to remove this board to fix them, so just run two wires from the input wires. I added MOVs there, since these one are now bypassed. There is no connection anymore, but the machine was still dead. I took a good machine and started replacing stuff, and with a new power supply it was working. So I checked it out. I replaced some capacitors that had very high ESR, and this was shorted. The bridge was shorted here. Replaced the capacitor, still no join. And I replaced the voltage regulator that makes 12 volts, still no join. So basically I started going around seeing how the machine works. Basically we have a PWM here, PWM, that takes the DC straight from the capacitors. I had to replace the fuses with a temporary solution until new comes. They are 1.2 kilovolts, 1 ounce. They aren't very easy to come by, so this is just a temporary solution for testing. And they go inside to this MOSFET, and the PWM basically step it down for the rest of the machine. I replaced this little IC, and now the machine works. I don't know if it was worth it in the end, but at least it works. Let's try it out. Now I get a 4NA error. It is because the machine is expecting a 420 milliamps for the automatic function, but we don't need it now. Let's go manual, reset, and let's ramp up the motor. And full speed. Let's ramp it down, and we have to replace the fans. I had to weld this back together. It was broken, but yeah, it's a very old VFD. Nobody really cares about aesthetic, just as long as it works.